Hello students, we have looked at a number of functions so far. We've looked at inbuilt function, or we sometimes call it built-in functions. Those that don't need you to do anything to use, e.g. int, float, str, okay? You've looked at input, print. I don't know how I forgot print should have been the first one, okay? And we've looked at custom functions, those that you write by yourself, okay? Now let's look at another kind of functions, those that come with Python, but they are not here to be used until you do something. So those are what you might call imported functions, okay? And we're going to look at those. So imports. Today we're going to talk about imports. As I promised that we're just remaining 2 things to go before start building things. This is the last bit. We're talking about importing, and then you can be able to now start building interesting things. Okay? So let's look at those. And there's no difference with importing and those that are inbuilt. All of them are functions. It's only that others are not necessary. You might not be they don't need to be used at that particular time, so there's no need to import them or to be right there for use, and they're not of any use. Okay, so let's start with a simple function like so this is when you're importing things, you're calling them modules. Okay, so we can say import, that's the one that we use, import math. You have to know which ones are those because you cannot just guess. Okay, so I know there is math, okay, and then in math I know there is let me print something like math dot. I don't know if you have learned anything about common divisor in school, but if you haven't learned, you're gonna learn very soon. There's something called GCD. So there's a function called GCD right here. So the GCD between 10 and 4. Let's print that and see. So let's run that. Okay, is 2. Okay, that's the GCD of 10 and 4. That's called the greatest common divisor. Yeah, depending on your grade, maybe you've come across this, maybe not, but don't worry, this is just a function in maths. Okay, so math will get you all the math function. There's cosine when you go to high school or junior or senior high, you learn about cosine, sine, and all that kind of things, logarithms. So those mathematical stuff, all of them will come within math, okay? Now let's look at an interesting one called, so all imports, most times you want to put them at the top of your file. You import everything at the top of the file and then you write your code. So I'll import another one called winsound, okay? So this is it's Windows specific, okay? So this is only for Windows. If you're on another platform, you need to use something else. Okay. So winsound. Let's look at what winsound has. So winsound has something called, there's beep. Okay. There's something called beep, and beep takes 2 things: the frequency and the duration. So the frequency of that sound. Frequency. Don't worry about that. If you've never heard of that term, but frequency basically is the pitch or the how high or how low is that sound. So if I put a frequency of 300. And I say it should have a duration of 1,000. Those 1,000 milliseconds, which is 1 minute. Okay, and let's run that and see. You'll hear a sound. I'll be find a sound like 2. That's a very low sound. If I make it 1,000 frequency, it will be high pitch. Okay, so that is sound. You can play it. So we can mix that up with the for loop that we learned. So for I in range, nice. Even we can do something like this for I in range. Let's make it do 5 times. Okay, 5, and let it be going up and up as you go. Right. So for every so we'll do winsound. Sorry about that. Winsound dot beep. And then we'll start with a low 200, okay, times I, and then keep going up. So 1,000. So times I plus 1, sorry. You know what I'm trying to do here is the first loop will do a frequency of 200, second loop will do 400, third loop will do 500, 600, because I'm multiplying by that I times I plus 1, sorry, that should have been in brackets here, I plus 1 times 200, okay? So let's just listen to that and see. So let's run that. So you can play with it in any way you want. Okay, sorry, I forgot the duration here, 1000. Let's run it again. Listen. You see, going up and up and up. So anything so it's up to you. You can play with anything. But now we're going to be building some things with you guys, and you'll learn more about this. Okay. So see you next. And don't miss it.